I didn't choose the industry, it definitely chose me. It kind of fell into my lap, and I just sort of, I fell in love with it and just kind of stayed with it and hoped it would point me in the right direction, and it did, and I really enjoy what I do. That was my first job out of school, and I worked there as a concierge for, I don't know, a couple months or something, and then all of a sudden the activity director left the community, and she said, hey, have you ever thought about being an activity director? Because I would, you know, when you work in a community, you sort of, you're very involved in all aspects. So even as a concierge, you get pulled to do all sorts of things. And so I was helping and assisting with activities. So I said, sure, and I became the activity director. I was the activity director for a couple of years, and then I realized, you know, I went to school for marketing, and I was like, is this what I want to do? You know, I loved it. I loved being in a community setting and, you know, in the home with the residents, but I just knew I wanted to get into marketing. Started to be the marketing assistant while I was still the director of activities. And I did that for a little while, and yeah, that was kind of where I started. I started there 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago. And so that was kind of my transition point from, you know, working in a community, concierge activities, to getting into marketing and meeting Kristen and Solvere and their team, and kind of transitioning to New Jersey into this community is kind of where my career kind of took off. As VP of Marketing, I oversee all of the Solvere communities, and they're all very different, and they're all over the country, and I think it's really fun to be able to use all the experience I've had in all the different roles. It finally comes together, and I'm able to look at them all and say, okay, you know, what makes you different? How do I position you? If you say you're different in a certain way, are you different from any other of your competitors? Can you say the same thing about them? I love being able to look at them and just see them all as individuals and figure out, yes, we may do similar things at each community, but how can we customize it to them and who they are and who they want to portray themselves to be? Who are they? I love just getting everyone together and brainstorming and asking questions and like just sitting and listening to what they have to say. And amazing stuff comes out of it. Feeling that we get to know you, we get to know each and every one of you, and we want to know what makes you different. I think is important for people to understand that in this industry you can start as a concierge and you don't know where you're going to end up. You don't know what, it's sort of a family environment, and it's sort of like, well, can you help here? Can you help here? What are you good at? What do you like doing? You know, you all kind of work in different areas in the same building. It's just relationship building. It's just getting to know the resident, the prospect, and helping them find what it is they're looking for and where they'll be most happy. Now it's about successful aging and programs and what are your goals and what do the residents want. It's different. It's already changed in just that short amount of time. And so marketing it is fun because I love it. I think it's awesome. Like, when I see people are not really talking about the programs, I'm like, this is cool stuff. I mean, this is amazing. This is so much different for the industry than it was before. I fully am invested in it, and I feel like we are making a change in the senior living industry. These aren't nursing homes. These aren't just homes. This is a place for these residents to live the way they want to live and be who they want to be, no matter how old they are and what age they are and what goals they have. And that's what Solvere is, and that's the company we want to be. I think when you find a path in that way, it brings out your strengths and what you're good at naturally. You know, you're not trying to fit into a certain role. You're just sort of creating the role yourself, which I kind of feel like is what Solvere has done for me, or Solutions Advisors Group has done for me. You just need to say yes to an opportunity. Might not be exactly what you want, but it might open the door to something that you want.